So Mick Mulvaney is the interim director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Well, that is until they change the name, which they are actually trying to do. Now, in theory, that agency is there to protect consumers from getting ripped off. Now, since its creation, it has successfully recovered about $12 billion for consumers who were cheated out of their money by big corporations and banks. So that's what the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is supposed to do. And up until now, they've been doing a pretty good job. Now, Mick Mulvaney, well, he thinks that is a sick, sad joke. And since taking over, has taken all the steps that he could to try to prevent the agency from actually doing their job. Now, let me give you, of course, examples of freezing. So he froze, first of all, the budget for the CFPB to make sure that they didn't take any more additional actions. So no enforcement. We're not asking for any extra money. Keep all your money because we don't plan on doing anything. And he also ended a lot of investigations into different payday lenders. Well, we know why. It's because he's corrupt. He's corrupted by the money. And there is an excellent article here by the New York Times that recounts a recent meeting, a recent event in which Mulvaney essentially says, I am absolutely corrupt. He shouts it from the rooftops. And he encourages banks to help in his corruption. Now, let me give you the details here. He recently had a meeting with banking industry executives at the American Bankers Association conference in Washington, D.C. And when he was there, he told them, hey, guys, I'm pretty much on your side. And what you should do is that you should start pressing other lawmakers on pursuing your agenda, right? So that sounds a little innocuous, but when you break it down, it basically means you need to start heavily bribing politicians. Let the money flow. And in case you don't believe me, this is what he said, quote, we had a hierarchy in my office in Congress. If you're a lobbyist who never gave us money, I didn't talk to you. If you're a lobbyist who gave us money, I might talk to you. Hint, hint. Oh, yeah, I might talk to you if you gave us money. No, there is a 100% guarantee that you at least entertained them with, emails or whatever, and allowed them to talk to you if they gave you money for your campaign. Now, he said at the top of his hierarchy were his constituents. If you came from back home and sat in my lobby, I talked to you without exception, regardless of the financial contributions. Well, how charitable of you, sir. You actually listen to the masses without actually having to accept a bribe for them. I suppose you think that is your good deed, right? No, he might talk to you, but it's fairly obvious, it's painfully obvious, that he works for the people who paid him. For example, the payday lenders. Now, payday lenders, the industry gave him about $63,000 during his congressional campaigns. That's a lot of money. So, and that came, of course, in the form of campaign contributions, and who knows what kind of independent expenditures they had also received from the agency. From the industry. And what has he done? Well, when he was in Congress, he fought the creation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, called it a sick, sad joke, as I mentioned. And then since taking over, he's actually tried to prevent the agency from doing their job. He's frozen all new investigations and slowed down existing inquiries by requiring employees to produce detailed justifications of actually looking into these banks who have been accused of predatory practices. He had also sharply restricted the Bureau's Bureau's access to bank data, arguing that its investigations created online security risks. Oh my God, we got to make sure that these corporations are protected from security risks. Well, what about all the security risks from corporations that accidentally released our data? Nothing on that. Not only that, but he's scaled back efforts to go after payday lenders, auto lenders, and other financial services companies accused of preying on vulnerable people. So this guy, and we've known this for quite some time now, wants to make it easier for the banks to rip you off. Why? It's because some of these banks, some of these lenders, that's their business model. Payday lenders, for example, they charge outrageous interest rates on their loans. And who do they target? They target low-income Americans, people with lesser means. I've never seen a rich person have to take out a payday loan. No, that's specifically for low-income borrowers. And they charge them 800, 900, 1,000, 2,000% interest on those payday loans. That is insanity. And then, of course, these same people, they get locked and trapped into a debt cycle, which is incredibly difficult, if not impossible to escape. And that is a reality for many Americans. But here's Mulvaney saying, great! I love it! I love it! We want you to continue being able to do this. Who cares about low-income people suffering when you can make a profit? And by the way, that profit might make its way to me or my buddies. So, banks, if you want me to treat you more favorably, well, you need to start, increasing those bribes, those legalized bribes. That's what he was saying in this meeting. Now, if you're not clear about how bad of a guy he is and how he feels about money in politics, let me give you this quote. He said, Mr. Mulvaney, according to the New York Times, Mr. Mulvaney said that trying to sway legislators with campaign donations was, quote, one of the fundamental underpinnings of our representative democracy. And you have to continue to do it. So understand what he means. Our system, our broken system of campaign finance, where you can give, we're a corporation, if you're a millionaire, billionaire, you can give money to our politicians. The politicians will do likely what you tell them to do. And he says that system is awesome. He says that is a fundamental underpinning of our democracy. He looks at the corruption in Washington caused by the money. And he says, yes, I love the corruption. I love the swamp. I live in the swamp. I bathe in the swamp. Give me more of that swamp water. Look, I thought Donald Trump wanted to drain the swamp. But no, he didn't. In appointing Mulvaney, he drained the swamp right into his administration. There is no swampier administration than what we have right now. They love the corruption. Again, Mulvaney, right there, shouting it from the rooftop, saying, money in politics is awesome. Banks ripping people off is awesome as long as I get a campaign donation. Corruption is awesome as long as I benefit from it. And he laughs and he laughs and he laughs all the way to the bank, along with Donald Trump. That's who is in this administration. This is the person now in charge of protecting consumers. If anything is a sick, sad joke, it's Mick Mulvaney. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.